It's Thursday the 29th of June. We're taking a look at Bitcoin. First thing to note here, so first off, good news. This sideways consolidation that we've been in basically since the 23rd of June for the last week is consolidation. It's not a bearish reversal. It's not an impulse move lower. It's all very nice, choppy, overlapping three-wave correction. The other thing to note at the moment is Bitcoin futures are much stronger than Bitcoin spot, and that is usually quite bullish as well. But Bitcoin futures tend to fall harder on downswings and do better on upswings. So pretty good news. We are squeezing higher in the top of this sideways range. Obviously, when I look at the futures, we've got this key level at this previous high, 31,200, and if we were to close above that and find support from it, I think that we would be in a pretty good place to continue higher. Otherwise, I think that this is it's really hard to tell. Is this the new swing higher, or just, you know, another corrective bounce? When I look at Bitcoin spot, for example, when I look at this sideways range we are in, you can see that this C leg is much shorter than this A leg. So if this was a three-wave, sort of A, B, C. Now, can that happen? Yes, it can. When I look at the weekend that we're coming into, month end, quarter end, half year end, big holiday, July 4th holiday weekend, it seems to me more likely that we're probably going to stay in correction sideways. But when I look at this Bitcoin futures chart, of course, this wasn't open for the weekend. And so in this, these two swings are more even, aren't they? They look more equal. So, you know, not just in length, this was 61.8 of A, so that could work very well. But in terms of timing as well, they're kind of equal length perfectly. So this could, for that reason, I think, be the beginning of the new leg higher. It's all going to be about what happens today and rebalancing. And of course, we've got this new, one of the reasons that Bitcoin Cash, BCH, has done so well is because this week we had this newly launched cryptocurrency exchange for big US firms, backed by, you know, massive financial companies, Fidelity, Citadel, Charles Schwab, Sequoia, and so on. So this is the reason why Bitcoin Cash had the big leap, because they're only offering 4 coins. None of them could be described as securities. They're only offering Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Ethereum. And so this is why I think also, you know, anytime you've got a new exchange, this is going to close at weekends, and so we could see some people thinking that 30,000 is holding. We had this little false break under 30,000 yesterday, and so potentially we could break out. What's going to tell? So for me in futures, it's going to be holding above and finding support from 31,200. But in the spot, I'm looking at it slightly differently. And you know how I like fib retrace levels. Clearly the moving averages are all really bullish. This is, if we break out from this declining wedge, we're going up. And this shorter C leg is what's going on. One of the things I like to look at is this fib retraces. So here we had our first swing lower, 3 waves, and this bounce was to the 61.8. When I move it down here, we have our bigger 3 waves down, and this 3 waves rally was to the 61.8. So if I move it down again, because we've now got this bigger 3 wave going on, above this 61.8 level, I think points to us going out and a breakout attempt. And remember, false third touches are very often false breakouts, so be aware that we may see a false break above 30,826 and then a pullback. And if we do that and fail there, we are likely to see that kind of one more swing lower in this bigger 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 down correction that we're in. And we are still then looking towards this sort of 29,500. Potentially we go down to 28, towards 28,000 anyway. So that's where I'm looking for. So if you're looking at this bullish move higher today, those are the levels that we really need to hold above. And if you're thinking, should I jump in and buy some, you know, the second to last day of the month today in stock indexes and other markets, it should be bullish. We're still doing that window dressing thing, but then after today we are vulnerable to a pullback and some profit taking and some rebalancing, and we have a long holiday weekend in the United States. So that's what I'm watching for in Bitcoin. Most this month, if we look back on the whole month of June, almost all altcoins underperform Bitcoin. It's really all about Bitcoin. Yes, there are a few that are having really nice bounces, but at the moment it's still all about Bitcoin. And we've seen that in previous bull markets. It starts with Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes first, then the love spreads into the blue chips, and then into, you know, altcoins as profit taking in the markets that have had big spikes happen. But at the moment we're still in, it's still all about Bitcoin. We've still got a lot of regulatory risk. Some of the ones that have fallen the hardest, you know, have been this week have been Ripple. If we take a look at Ripple at the moment, potentially a double bottom sideways, but yeah, it's this key support for Ripple. We will see more downside, as I said, underneath 0.45. We will go down to 0.39. So that's in a bigger sort of three-wave correction. So as you can see, not everything looks as happy as Bitcoin. Good luck. Let's see how. I think we'll see after today and tomorrow, we will know very clearly whether we are still in a correction through the weekend or whether we are starting a bigger up move higher. I forgot to say the targets, didn't I? Now, if we do start a bigger swing higher here in Bitcoin, let's go to the weekly. Take off this weekly chart here. I think that if we make new highs, right, and we continue higher in Bitcoin, if I take everything away, I think that this would mean that this is three waves up, not a bigger three-wave correction sideways here, because I'm always looking for the zigzag three-wave correction. That would mean that this correction here was complete and we're in a new swing, and that would also mean that this would be wave one, and if this is a new bullish move, we are starting wave three, which should be really strong. Now, when you're in a trending market, you don't overlap the previous swings, so each pullback that you do stays clean. That's a trending market. If this is very choppy and overlapping, that'll tell us if it's a correction or not. So far, this rally off the lows has been really strong. In fact, hardly any pullbacks. So I'm leaning towards being really bullish. But certainly no sign of this being a bigger three-wave correction at the moment. The way that the last couple of days have unfolded has stayed as really nice bullish sideways correction. So it's just a matter of, are we going to go today, or are we going to pull down to that sort of 29,500 over the weekend and then continue higher from there? But the next, in terms of targets, if we were to make new highs, and this is all dependent on that, let's measure this first swing like this, like this. I'm looking for 34,300, and I think we'll probably overshoot for 36,000, which would be the next fib level as well. So a break and close and hold above 31,200 gives us a target of 34,300 to 36,000 for the next swing. But I also think that actually we end up, you know, towards 44,000 and then 50,000 next. But this is just this, where will this swing take us to? And that's 36,000. Okay, good luck.